Oh, hi everybody. That's just a little bit of my dance therapy. Welcome to my kitchen today. Welcome to Karen's Sizzle and Spice. Today I'm going to make a classic side dish. You know, there's about 1,000,001 things you can do with potatoes. These are called take-along potatoes. Take-along potatoes. And you know where I got the idea? It just popped into my head the other day. This is a dish I made years and years ago. So in order to find the recipe, I had to dig through my basement and I found some really fun stuff. I found some of my oldest cookbooks. Have any of you had the cookbook that your kids' school made up? All the parents get together and put their favorite recipes together. These are such fabulous cookbooks. I'm gonna have so much fun picking out some dishes from here to share with you guys. Now this one is from 1974, my very first cookbook. It's the Family Circle cookbook. You can see that it's kind of fallen apart. There's duct tape on there holding it together, but this is such a classic. I'm gonna have so much fun digging through this. Here's another one here from Emeril Lagasse. You know, Emeril Lagasse was really one of the pilgrims on food TV, one of the very first. Bam! Who could forget him, really? And then this one was given to me as a gift. This is called the Gooseberry Patch Cookbook, and this is where I found those take-along potatoes. So let me show you how we're gonna get this one started. You know what? Now that I've shared my cookbooks with you, I would love to see some of yours. If you click on the description of my video here, you'll find the link for my Facebook page. I would love it if some of you would go there and post some pictures of your favorite cookbooks. Tell me a little bit about them. I'd love to hear. Let's get to this potato dish now. The reason it's called take-along potatoes because it's a really easy dish to share with family and friends. If you're going somewhere, you can take it with you. I also love make-ahead meals. I love to put this kind of dish together, throw it in the refrigerator, and then an hour before dinner, all I have to do is pop it in the oven. So this couldn't be simpler. What you're gonna need today is like 12 potatoes. Now this is gonna be fit into a 13x9 baking casserole dish. So it's gonna feed about 10 to 12 people. There's only 2 of us here, but we love the leftovers. The leftovers sometimes taste even better than when you first make the dish. We're gonna need some chicken stock. We'll need some cheddar cheese. We'll be using a nice big onion. We'll be using some Worcestershire. How do you say that? Still don't know if I'm saying it right. Worcestershire. We're gonna use salt and pepper. We're gonna use butter, some parsley, and that's it. Let's get this one going. So the first thing I'm gonna do to get this dish ready is I'm gonna peel my red potatoes. Now there's a lot of times that I don't bother to peel the potatoes because I don't mind them and there's lots of nutrients in those skins for you. But this time I will peel them. You know, we're living in COVID time and it's a time that we're never gonna forget in our history. And sometimes you have to buy some things at the store that might not look prime, but it's what you got. You can't be choosy. So these potatoes have some brown spots and they're not as red as they usually are. So I do want to peel these to be sure that I'm peeling off any part that might not be good. After the potatoes, I will be cutting up my onion. So let's go. You know, I'm really glad I decided to peel these because there's a lot of brown spots on here. Did you guys realize that the tip of the peeler can take off any brown spots or any imperfections in your potatoes? I bet you some of you didn't even know that. So I've got all my potatoes peeled now. The next thing is to slice them nice and thin for this dish. I'm gonna use my mandolin. A mandolin is pretty cool. I actually found this one in the market once when I was shopping. There was a guy demonstrating it. You know how that is. They look like kung fu artists. They're just so good with it. I couldn't resist buying one and it's really pretty terrific. So you have to be really careful with this, for the love of God. If you have a mandolin, be careful because if you cut yourself, you'll cut yourself bad. So they have this holder here where you can attach the potato right to these prongs here. And then you just put it here on your mandolin and slice. This guard here prevents you from cutting yourself. See how cool that is? Look what's in the bowl. That's what you want. Perfectly thin sliced potatoes. So I'm just gonna use my mandolin to finish cutting these. You see too, as you're going through the potato, you push down on here, and it pushes the potato further into the blade. So you get down all the way down to the bottom. You don't waste a thing with this. I'm just gonna finish cutting these, and we'll cut my onion next, and we'll move on to the next step then. I've got all my potatoes sliced now, nice and beautifully and thin with the mandolin. I'm gonna turn my oven on to 425. Get that preheated. And I'm gonna get my dish prepared. Now, to be sure that nothing sticks to this 13 by 9, I'm just gonna spray it with some spray pan. And I'm gonna start to layer potatoes in here. I'll use about half the potatoes to start. You guys are gonna love this dish. It's so delicious and savory. Next, I'm gonna get my onion cut, because I'll put a layer of onion and then another layer of potatoes and another layer of onion. So let me get this onion cut. I could use the mandolin for it, but I kind of like cutting the onion this way. Just cut it in half, cut both ends off, take the peel off. And then with my Rachel Ray knife, which is fabulous, I'm just gonna cut nice, thin slices. And there we go. I'm just gonna put them in the pan here with my potatoes. So I'm gonna repeat the pattern again. I'll put another layer of potatoes in and another layer of onion, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, now that I've got my potatoes and onions layered twice, it's time for the next step. I'm gonna melt a half a stick of butter in the microwave. And while that's happening, I have a 4-cup measuring cup here. I'm gonna pour 2 cups of my chicken broth right into this cup. 2 cups. I'm gonna add parsley to this. Quite a bit of parsley. That's a few pounds of potatoes there. I'm going to add my salt and pepper. And you know, potatoes just crave salt. It brings the potatoes, the flavor in the potatoes alive. So don't be shy with the salt. Then I'm adding pepper, and I love pepper. So this is to taste, depending on how much you like pepper. Then I'm going to put in a few shakes of Worcestershire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 should do it. I'm gonna get my butter from the microwave. Come on in closer, Ed, as I pour this over. I'm just gonna pour the butter right over the top of these potatoes. Ugh, cannot wait to eat this. This is gonna be delicious. And then I'm just gonna take a fork, mix up my broth mixture here. The gravy that this creates with the potatoes is just pretty fantastic. You guys are gonna love this one. And again, I'm just gonna pour this right over the potatoes. This is gonna go into that 425-degree oven for close to an hour. There are my onions, my stove is at temperature now. And to seal in all the goodness here, I'm gonna cover this dish with aluminum foil. Seal it really well, pressing it around all the sides. You know, I think I might even put a double on here, just so it's nice and secure. And I'm gonna put this right in the oven at 425, and we'll check it in about an hour. Let you guys see it then. It's gonna be delicious. I'll be back in an hour. You guys, I'd forget my head if it weren't attached. You know, it's been a while since I've made this recipe. I had to pull this thing right back out of the oven. I forgot to put the cheese on top. So I'm just gonna use about 2 cups of cheddar. This will make it taste so much better than without. I don't know what I was thinking. But you know me and the raining cheese. I just love it. Oh yeah. It's the pièce de résistance for this dish. Okay, let me get the cover back on. I'll put this back in the oven and I'll check in with you guys in about an hour. All right, these potatoes have been cooking for an hour. It smells wonderful in my kitchen. I'll take it out of here. I'm gonna take the cover off. Look at that steaming goodness here. Take the cover off. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the oven off. And I'm gonna put these potatoes back in the oven for about 10 minutes. Top of those potatoes will brown a little bit and that gravy will kind of soak into the potatoes. It's gonna be fabulous. And then we'll be back to taste. It's our favorite time, you guys. It's time to taste. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Just click on that red button underneath the videos and be sure you click on thumbs up if you're enjoying my videos so I'll know. Now we're gonna taste this. I put some in a bowl for both of us already because it's really hot right out of the oven. But let's give it a taste. The gravy that this created is beautiful. Let's taste it. The onions are so nice and soft.
Very tasty.
This is a perfect side dish for any meal.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some hamburgers that I grilled outside yesterday with this. I'm gonna be smashing these potatoes in that gravy.
Another great dinner coming up tonight.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, honey. Thanks for visiting, you guys. Make sure you subscribe, come back often, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.